Namaste friends, thank you for listening to my session. Today let us have a small discussion about a small topic, that is matter. My dear friends, in this universe, it is filled with matter. Maximum, you just observe the universe, maximum it is empty, mostly empty. And here and there you see the planets, stars and all. But the empty space is maximum. And now coming to the occupied spaces. We generally see different forms of matter is there. Matter exists in the solid form, matter exists in the liquid form, matter exists in the gaseous form, all around us. Let us see all the things around us. So either it will be in these three states, solid state or liquid state or in the gaseous state. And all these things are known to you. It is not an unknown quality. What I am discussing is everything known to you. Now let us compare. Comparatively let us see. Now coming to the solid state. The solid, in a solid, generally either solid or liquid or gas, any substance, anything is being made up of small particles we call as atoms. 2 or 3 atoms combinedly gives rise to a molecule. Generally, a molecule exists independently in a free state. So, the solids are made up of molecules which are tightly packed. The solids are made up of molecules which are tightly packed. And these molecules which are tightly packed cannot simply just flow. They cannot flow. They can only vibrate. In their own position they can vibrate, have a vibratory motion, but they cannot simply flow. But whereas the liquids and gases can flow, that's the reason why they are called fluids. Liquids and gases, because they are able to flow, we call them as fluids. But solids, they doesn't flow, we don't call them as fluid. They just form a heap there. If we just put there, they will be there, that's all. So the intermolecular space is very less. Here we are using a word, please try to understand my dear friends. The intermolecular space means the distance between the two molecules. That is called the intermolecular space. That is very less. As a result, the intermolecular force of attraction is maximum in the case of solids. The intermolecular force of attraction is maximum in the case of solids. Now you can understand, in our day-to-day life, every moment we keep on using this intermolecular force. For example, you are sitting on a chair, means your chair is taking your load. If that intermolecular force is missing in the chair will break and you will be falling down. So it is helping you, it is carrying you because of the intermolecular force existing in that chair. Even the cot, it's able to hold your weight because of the intermolecular force. For example, you are going for mountaineering, trekking. So you are holding a rope and just you are climbing the hill. When you are climbing, when you are in the midway, your whole complete weight is being taken by the rope. These intermolecular forces which are existing within the rope are helping the rope to carry your weight. If that force disappears, you will be just falling down. So that intermolecular force is a very important thing, but we don't consider it. Even the roof is able to just stand above our head is possible because of the intermolecular forces which are existing between the molecules in that. Even the clothing what you are wearing, the cloth is able to maintain without tearing. It is because of the intermolecular forces which are existing between the molecules. Without that, the fiber cannot exist together and we can't use it for wearing. So intermolecules are everywhere in our day-to-day life. We are using, but we do not know that there is a force of attraction between the molecules which are holding them. So that is existing, that is maximum in the case of solids. So my dear friends, now coming to again in the solid, for example this solid, if I am applying some force, it is not changing its shape. So that solid I call it as a rigid body. In physics we use a terminology called rigid body. Only those bodies, even by the application of force, they are not changing their shape, we call it as a rigid body. If they just change their shape, if I am taking a cloth, if I am putting some force, it is changing the shape. If it is changing the shape, it is not called a rigid body. No, we don't call it as a rigid body. So, my dear friends, in solids, even if you just compress, you just put some pressure, they are not compressible. Mostly they are not compressible. But in some cases, like in sponge, this is a special case, where it is a pore, you see a lot of pores are there between the sponge. You can see them. Because of that porosity, lot of air is there within the spaces. And when you just compress, it is getting compressed because of that molecules which are air molecules present. They will escape and that is compressible. So that is not a rigid body. It is having a lot of pores in it. So my dear friends, otherwise solids are incompressible. You can't press a solid so easily. So my dear friends, now you understood the different properties which we observe in solid. Occupies space. It has n number of free sides. If you take any solid, it can have n number of free sides. There is no limitation, infinity number of free sides it can have. And it has some weight, because it has mass, it has some weight. It occupies some volume. It occupies some volume. And you can get the volume of any rigid body, whether it is a regular shape or an irregular shape. So you have to do an experiment. You are a scientist, how you are going to find out the volume of a irregular body? I am giving a hint for you. Take the help of water. Take a container of having water. Take another plate for collecting the overflowing water. Take a stone which is not having a regular shape. Now using all these things, identify the volume of the stone. Identify the volume of the stone. Don't take ideas from anywhere. Think by yourself. Try to do by yourself. It's a simple experiment. So my dear friends, now coming to the liquids. In liquid always takes the shape of any container. Whatever the container you put, it takes the shape of that container. So liquids take the shape of the container whatever you use, and it has only one free space, one free opening. Wherever it is open, that is the only free space it has. Liquids, the molecules present in the liquids are freely moving, and the intermolecular space is more compared to the solid. Space is more and the intermolecular force of attraction is less compared to the solid. That's the reason why liquids can flow. That is the reason why it is called a fluid. Because they are able to flow, it's called a fluid. So my dear friends, in liquids, there is a special property in liquids where we have to consider. That is, liquids are incompressible. Incompressible means you apply any amount of force, the liquid will not come near. Liquids are incompressible. This is, for example, you do an experiment at home. Take a syringe, just suck some water into it, close this end and just put some pressure. Keep on increasing the pressure. Keep on increasing the pressure. Increase it as much as you can. My dear friend, you always see that it is not changing, the volume is not changing. It is not getting compressed. So liquids are incompressible. Very important property. Because of this property of incompressibility in the liquid, we use it in the hydraulic machines. Liquids are used in the hydraulic machines, and today all the machines mostly we use on hydraulic. And this is very important point, that is, liquids are incompressible. That is the reason why we are able to use the liquid in the hydraulic machines using the Pascal's law. So liquids, we have already seen many things. The intermolecular space is more than solid. The force of attraction is less than that of solid and more than that of gas. So now we have it occupies some space, it has some mass, it has some volume too. So now we have discussed about the liquids. So my dear friends, now coming to the gases. In gases, maximum it doesn't take any solid had n number of free spaces, but it doesn't have any free space. The molecules are far away from each other, and the intermolecular force of attraction is very less, minimum. Minimum compared to solid, liquid is less, compared to liquid, still it is less. Gas is much less. And it flows, gases flow freely. So my dear friends, but gases occupy some space. They occupy some space, and you can do an experiment. You can take a balloon. You can do a small experiment. You can take a stick and just suspend it from the midpoint and just take a balloon and take an empty one. Just tie an empty balloon which is there is no air in it. Just see, you can see the balance is just going towards this side. That shows that this occupies some volume and also have some mass, have some weight for it. So even gases have some mass as well as weight. One more example, if you are at home, the empty cylinder is lighter compared to the full cylinder. The full cylinder is having more weight compared to the empty cylinder. So my dear friends, even the gases are also occupying some space. It has some mass and it has some weight, but the intermolecular forces are very less, and these gas molecules moving continuously, keep on moving. They have a lot of kinetic energy. They keep on moving, my dear friends. A lot of inelastic collisions happen in the case of gases. So my dear friends, take a balloon and just fill the balloon and just observe and do one more experiment. Just open the balloon and just leave. It will be just going like a rocket. Just observe why it is going up like a rocket, making some sound. You try to observe what is happening. So my dear friends, we are just concluding, any substance, if you take water, water exists in the solid form, in the liquid form and in the gaseous form. Any substance occupies the solid form, liquid form and the gaseous form at different temperatures. Now we are not going to discuss about that. So my dear friends, we have discussed in this session about the different states of matter, that is solids, liquids and the gaseous state. Mostly we have discussed gases are compressible. Gases are compressible. For example, if you just remove the water and just suck the air and just close it and just put some pressure, it is getting compressed. Air is getting compressed. You can compress air. But whereas water you cannot compress, but air you can compress. So air cannot be used in the hydraulic machines because air is compressible. We cannot use air in the hydraulic machines, my dear friends. So my dear friends, today we have a brief discussion about the solids, liquids and gases. I request all the children, please listen to the class simultaneously. You please write some key points, key words, especially when you listen to a new word, please just note it down, write down and discuss this with your friends. So thank you very much for listening to my class. Thank you.